Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are cracking the code on academic writing. We're going to look at a super practical system that a nursing student actually used to tackle a massive 4,000-word essay and turn what could have been a total nightmare into a structured success. So, here's the game plan. We're breaking this down into 4 parts. We'll start with the blueprint, then zoom in on paragraphs, figure out how to create that seamless flow, and wrap up with the final polish. By the end of this, you're going to have a complete toolkit to write with total confidence. You know that feeling, right? Staring at that blinking cursor on a blank page with a huge word count just looming over you. It's something pretty much every student goes through. But what if a solid, structured plan could turn all that anxiety into a clear path forward? Okay, so where do we even start? Well, the most important thing you can do is create a solid foundation. You wouldn't build a house without a blueprint, right? The exact same thing goes for writing a great essay. It all starts with a plan. Think of these 5 steps as your secret weapon against getting lost or stuck. Following this process gives you direction, structure, and really good research before you even try to write a single full paragraph. So what do we actually mean by research in an academic paper? Well, it all comes down to the quality of your evidence. You've got to focus on sources that experts in the field have already checked and approved. We're talking peer-reviewed journals, official government reports, not a quick scroll through Instagram or YouTube. All right, so we've got our blueprint. Now let's look at the actual building blocks of your essay. We're going to zoom right in from that big picture plan to the anatomy of one single, perfectly structured paragraph. You know, what really makes an essay convincing is consistency. And a fantastic tool for that is something called the Peel method. It's this simple, easy-to-remember structure that you can use for every single paragraph to make sure each one is clear, supported, and doing its job. And this is the golden rule, right here. You have to fight that temptation to cram a bunch of different ideas into one paragraph. Just focus each one on a single point. It keeps things clear, and it makes your whole argument so much stronger and easier for your reader to follow. Okay, theory is great. But let's see how this 4-step process actually works in the wild. We're going to use a real example from that nursing student's paper, which was all about the connection between aging and technology. First up, the P for point. The paragraph starts with this super clear, concise topic sentence. Right away, you, the reader, know exactly what this section is all about. No confusion, no guesswork. Next, you bring in the E for evidence. See how the writer immediately backs up that point with specific research? They cite that Danan Powell in 2018 found age makes moving around harder, and a study by Young and their team in 2020 found self-care gets more challenging. This isn't just an opinion, it's backed by facts. And here's the second E, for evaluation. This is where the magic really happens. The writer doesn't just drop the evidence and leave. They interpret it, they analyze it. They say, yeah, physical decline is part of it, but hey, the rapid rise of technology is also a huge factor. This is where you show your own critical thinking. And finally, we get to the L for link. The paragraph wraps up by saying this whole situation reinforces the need to include older patients when designing new systems. See that? It's the perfect bridge. It summarizes the point and then smoothly leads the reader into the next part of the discussion. So you've built all these strong, well-structured paragraphs using the Peel method. Awesome. But now, how do we connect them all? We need to create a seamless, logical argument that just flows beautifully from one idea to the next. The best way to do that is with a technique called signposting. Think of these words and phrases as literal road signs for your reader. They tell them what's coming next, whether you're about to show a contrast, add more info, or draw a conclusion. It makes your writing incredibly easy to follow.
Here are just a few examples. Using a word like however instantly tells the reader you're about to pivot. Using consequently signals a result is coming. This does more than just make you sound smart, it actively guides your reader through your chain of thought.
We're in the home stretch now. You have planned your essay, you've built your paragraphs, you've linked them all together. This last stage is all about giving your work that final polish to make sure it's as strong as it can possibly be. Before you even think about hitting that submit button, you got to run through this checklist. Are your ideas crystal clear? Does the structure make sense? And please have you proofread for every last spelling mistake and typo. Seriously, use the tools you have, like the editor in Microsoft Word. It's there to help.
So let's just recap the whole toolkit. First, you plan with a solid blueprint. Then, you build your paragraphs using that Peel method. Next, you link your ideas together with signposting.
And finally, you polish that draft until it shines. It's a simple system that turns a scary, huge task into a step-by-step process you can use every single time.
Because when you have a structure like this, academic writing stops feeling like a chore and it becomes what it's supposed to be, a powerful tool. It becomes your way of clearly, confidently, and persuasively sharing your best ideas with the world.